everyone, my name is Gail. Welcome to my sunroom and welcome to Sunday afternoon crochet. I'm out in my sunroom this afternoon crocheting a little bit. I've been crocheting off and on all day, but came out here not just to make this video, but to sit and enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet time. I like to come out here, light my candle and bring my coffee with me. I've got iced coffee today. Sometimes I'll bring a cup of hot coffee with me, but just come out here and sit, and it's quiet and it's peaceful out here, and I like that. And while I'm crocheting, I can sit and meditate and think about things, and think about good things, think about memories in my life. And so I came out here just to do that. And so I'm going to get me a sip of my coffee and pick my crocheting up and let you see what I've got done. You may hear some thunder in the background. It looks like we're fixing to get a storm here, so hopefully I can get this video completed before it storms too bad. It's been thundering off and on for the last little bit, but we haven't gotten any rain yet. We did get some earlier. And as you can tell, I'm still a little bit nasally. I haven't been to the doctor, but I'm still got this nasal stuffiness and don't know what in the world's going on. I don't feel bad at all. I'm not running a fever, so I hate to go to the doctor when I'm not feeling bad or not running a fever, because I know I don't need any antibiotics. But I've just been trying to take some over-the-counter meds and nurse myself, hopefully back to health. You know, when you're a nurse, and I was a nurse for, wow, I think I figured it up one time, 47, 48, 49 years. I first started nursing in 1978, so I guess that would be around 48 years, not quite for sure. But when you're a nurse, you try to take care of yourself and nurse yourself up and do what you can do, because I know there's no need to go to the doctor if I'm not running a fever, and I don't even feel bad. That's another thing. I don't even really feel bad. No headaches at all, no fever, no headaches, not really any pressure like you normally have when you have sinus infection. So I know I don't have an infection, so it could be just allergies. I don't know. Could be something with a barometric pressure. I'm not sure. You know, we've had rain just about almost every day here where I live, and may not be a long rain, but just almost a rain just about every day. So not sure if that's it or what's it, but anyway, I woke up this morning, I was real hoarse. I didn't go to church. I couldn't hardly talk well, so I told my husband, I said, well, I can't sing, so there's no need of me going to church. I like to sing and worship, so I just stayed home. And as the day has progressed, the hoarseness has gradually went away, but I'm still a little bit nasally, you can tell. Went on a little day trip with some of my friends yesterday. We rode up to Andrews, North Carolina, and went and ate lunch, and stopped at a couple of little places on the way back to do just a little bit of shopping. And I felt really well, and yesterday was probably the best day that I've had, so I expected today to be even better. But when I got up and I was real hoarse, I told my husband, I said, I'm just going to stay here and rest up today and see if I can hopefully get better. But I'm still working on the same crochet project that I was working on last week. As I told you, I usually will finish up a project before I start something else. Now, that being said, I will do washcloths, you know, something like that, make little washcloths in between. But if I have one big project that I'm working on, I usually won't start another big project until I get one done. I've always been that way. I don't want to have 2 or 3 projects going on, and that's too overwhelming for me. If I start something, I want to finish it, other than if I make, like, you know, little dishcloths in between or something, because that's something you can do real quick, making a dishcloth. But I'm happy with the way this little blanket's turning out, and I already have somebody wanting it, saying they'll take it. Can you guess who that is? Yes, it's my daughter, my oldest daughter. She said she would take it. But here's what it's looking like, and I'm real happy with the way it's turning out. Very happy. I'm doing 5 rows of each color. Now down here at the bottom, I have, I think, 2 of the blue and maybe 2 or 3 of the green, and the rest are 5 rows each. So I'm going to do 5 rows of all my colors, and I'm trying to alternate a light color and a dark color, so that it'll kind of, even though I know the colors are not really matching colors, but just trying to get it to blend in a little bit better, doing a light color and a dark color and alternating that. So and even with every one of these colors here, like the purple, I still have some left over. The blue, I have some left over. This like burnt orange here and yellow, I have some left over. Now the green, I used all of it. So I'm still going to have probably yarn left over from all this yarn that I bought for her first blanket. So if I do, I'll probably make some little granny squares with that and put them together. I don't like to waste. Yarn is high, so, you know, I don't want to waste any. I use it up if I can. And might not be all these colors here, might not be everybody's favorite, but at least I can get them used up. Can you hear the thunder? I can hear it really loud, so hopefully I can get through this video. I don't have any other crocheting projects going on right now anyway, or anything to work on. Don't have any babies on the way in my family, so I don't have any baby blankets to make. I do, once I get this done, I am planning on making up a couple of baby blankets just to have for gifts and have on hand. I've got some baby yarn over here that I need to use up. I want to do the corner to corner pattern. I have never did that pattern, and I want to do that, and that's something that I want to work on too, do a little blanket with that. I have a first cousin. I was friends with her on Facebook. She lives in another town, quite a distance away from me, but she used to do the corner to corner pattern, and she used to crochet so many blankets, and she used, it's the little cakes of yarn, come little round cakes. Can't remember what it was called, but they were so pretty. And I remember one year before Christmas, she was making them all up for family members to give, and she did those. I don't see her crocheting like she used to. I don't think she crochets as much. I've quit seeing her post things that she's crocheted on there, but she would make some of the prettiest corner to corner blankets, and that's kind of what got me wanting to do it. But then I go to church with a woman that does the corner to corner, and she brought me her pattern. I think I've shared that with you. Brought me a copy of her pattern, so I'm going to try that. But I wanted to get this yarn done up first and get it used up so I can go buy new yarn. Best time to buy yarn is when it's on sale. I've ordered yarn from Hirschner's, and I have ordered from Joann's before she went out of business. And I also have ordered from Amazon a few times, not very much. Now, I've always been real happy with the yarn that I've ordered from Hirschner's, but I like to see the yarn, and I like to feel it before I buy it. And sometimes it's hard to tell with the colors, you know, exactly what it is. But I usually just go to Walmart and pick up yarn, and I buy a lot of my yarn at Hobby Lobby, a lot. And I've bought yarn at Michael's. And so there's lots of ways you can get your yarn. It's just deciding on your pattern and getting it. When I first started crocheting, they didn't have all kinds of yarn. I remember, oh my, seems like I remember just using Red Heart mostly. I don't remember, and then Lime Brand later on. I don't remember so many different kinds of yarn, just mostly the Red Heart. And I think I might have told you this story, I'm not sure. My dad, he was a preacher, and he painted by trade. He painted people's houses. And several years before he retired, he went to work in a spinning mill. And he kind of got out of the painting, and kind of hard for him to get up and down a ladder so much, but he got a job in a spinning mill. And I think he worked on the maintenance and just done a lot of cleaned up. It wasn't anything big that he done in the spinning mill. I think he just worked. But I had started, crocheting. I was still living at home and working at the nursing home as a CNA, and started learning to crochet. I've told you that story. But he would bring me home big old spools of yarn from the spinning mill. Now that yarn it was real thin. It wasn't worsted weight yarn like this. If it had been, I would have loved it. But where this is 4-ply right here, that yarn must have been 2-ply. I'm not sure. But where he worked, this is just remnants that they would have left over from spinning. I don't know if they spun the yarn and made rugs. I really don't even remember. I just knew it was a spinning mill. But they would be going to throw this yarn out, and he would bring it home to me. It was on big old cones. I never did make a lot of stuff with it. It wasn't pretty yarn at all, but he thought he was really doing something good for me, for his baby girl, bringing me all that yarn. But I would always be so appreciative of it, and thank him for it. And I did use it some. I think I remember making some headbands out of it, and maybe making some boggins out of it, toe boggins to wear on your head. But you could put the yarns together to make it a 4-ply. You could just easily roll it up in balls, and then use two, double it and use it to crochet with like that, and it would make it heavier yarn. But I'll never forget that. He was really loved bringing me that yarn home, and he would surprise me with it. He would kind of bring it home and set it out where I could see it, and instead of just bringing it in and saying, here it is, he would bring it in, set it down, and want me to spot it, and say something about it. So, I don't talk a lot about my dad. My dad was kind of a private person. He loved his family very much. He loved his family. But he wasn't one to show his emotions a lot. He didn't say, I love you a lot, but we knew that he loved us. No doubt about that. We never one time doubted that he didn't love us, because he would do little things like that, bringing the yarn home and setting it out for me to see. And I remember one time, now I was just a little girl, I'm 70, but I remember I was just a little girl, and he had went somewhere, and he came back, and I think I had one Barbie doll growing up, and it wasn't bought for me, it was given to me. And this looked like a Barbie doll, but it was a plastic doll. It wasn't a real Barbie doll. Well, he brought that little doll home to me, and he did the same thing with it. Where my mom would have a picture hanging, he just put a little nail in the wall, and he hung that doll up there. It was still in a little plastic bag, kind of like Barbie dolls. It was the sizes of Barbie dolls, but it was in a little plastic bag. And he hung that doll up there for me to see. And of course, I just had a fit over it and thought it was the best doll that ever was. You know, little things mean a lot. Don't have to be a big gift. Little things mean a lot, you know. And I'm glad I grew up that way where, you know, I didn't have to have a big amount and just little things like that, you know, your parents would do for you. But I was the baby of the family and had like 5 siblings, and the one next to me was 16 when I was born. Some of them was already married when I was born. I already had nieces and nephews when I was born, so I was like a second family coming along. So I kind of got spoiled a little bit more than the others did. So, you know, as I grew up with nieces and nephews being like my brothers and sisters rather than my nieces and nephews. We don't know how I got off on that from talking about my crocheting here, but I do know how I got off on it. I was telling you about my dad bringing me home that yarn from the spinning mill. Oh, it was not pretty yarn. Not pretty yarn. Wasn't pretty colors. I can remember it. Some of it, it was like a real pale blue. Real pale. And it would kind of a white. Almost like a grayish white. But I guess this was the little yarn before they dyed it or something. I don't know. But you know, there's people now are so crafty. They could take something like that probably and make something really good out of it and put it to good use. There's so many crafty people that can do so much with what they have. And crafty people that will find a use for everything that they have too. I see that a lot looking on YouTube with people that craft. I think, my oh my, how do they think of some of the stuff that they think of? But that's just how it is. This brown here that I'm working on, although brown is not my favorite color, I made my daughter a blanket with different shades of brown, and it turned out to be real pretty. And she still has it. She says she's got it in one of her bedrooms on the bed. And when she wanted it, I was quite surprised at the color that she picked out for me to make that. But it turned out very pretty, very pretty. And I want to use all of this yarn that's in this bag. I want to use at least every color that's in here, and I think I'll be able to. I haven't counted the skeins to see how many I have in there and how many different colors I'll have. Well, the rain has begun here. We are beginning to get a little bit of rain, so I think before it gets any more stormy and before we have any lightning with this thunder, I think I'm gonna get off here and get prepared in case we lose power. I don't think we will. We don't usually lose power. We're in the area that I live, but occasionally we do. But I think I will get off here, and it's getting dark, so I'm going to let you go, and I hope you'll join me again on Wednesday for my quilting projects, and then again next Sunday for my Sunday afternoon crochet. And I may be working on this. I may be working on some dishcloths then. I know you don't want to see me work on this every week, but wouldn't it be nice if I had it almost done by next week? That's really a doubtful thing, but wouldn't it be nice if I did? Could have it all done and have it ready for you to see the finished project. But anyway, as you know me, I always share my finished project with you. So until next week on Sunday afternoon crochet, Y'all take care.